Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Q&A show on Inside the Birds platform, YouTube channel. I'm one of your hosts, Jason Avant. I'm here with my main man, teammate, friend for a long time, Quintin Mikell. Q, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Good to
Excited,
see you.
Q.
I know, man.
It's always good
One
to see
one
you.
down, baby.
One down. The Eagles handle business at home against the Packers. 22-10. Saquon went down prematurely, which would have changed a lot of the line for a lot of people. So I know some folks are frustrated there. Defense produces 4 turnovers, 3 turnovers with the special team turnover. Play lights out. The Eagles did enough to get it done. Big picture takeaway from the win. We're going to discuss the defense at length, discuss some of the offense, but your biggest takeaway from the win.
Listen, I loved it. I loved the first game 1. Listen, whatever it takes to win the game. And as long as you get that W, that's all that matters. Obviously, there are some things that, and we'll go into that and chat about that, but ain't nothing better than winning, man, especially in the playoffs. So I'm good.
So my big picture takeaway is that yes, a win is a win. That's the only thing that you can do. We didn't turn the ball over. We saw the opposite of that, of Jordan Love turning the ball over and how that affected the team. The defense was playing lights out and they played complimentary football. Say, you know what, since the defense is playing well, let's ride them today. We don't have to do as much and let's protect the football and get out of here with the win. I thought that they did that. And for the first time, pretty much all year, I thought that Nick Sirianni was conservative as a head coach in a lot of different situations, talking about kicking field goals, not going for them, certain down and distances, conceding on 3rd and 12 and just running the ball. A bunch of different things like that happen. So overall, you do what you do in order to win. You get one shot in the playoffs, and they live to see another day. All right, Q, let's get into the defense. Just before we do that, thank you to Adam and to Jeff and all the fans that tune in each and every week. Remember, email your questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com. Follow us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Question for Q, Eagles defense. What did the Eagles do to frustrate Jordan Love into 3 interceptions and several erratic passes?
Yeah, man, this defensive game plan by Fangio was phenomenal.
Mhm.
The entire secondary played lights out. They covered well. They dropped in their zones well. They got their hands on receivers when they needed to, and just across the board, just phenomenal play by this defense. The thing that I think that really worked well was number one, they shut the run game down. Jacobs very rarely got a chance to get his shoulder square and hit downhill. He was running laterally um, almost every play, especially the first half. And when you
Mhm.
can do that, a guy like that you're forcing to run laterally, your entire defense has enough speed to get there and then gang tackle him and shut him down. Now, with the run game being shut down, the next thing that the Packers do, and they've always done, is the big play. And the secondary took away the big play. They kept the top on the defense. They covered well. They got hands on their receivers when they had that opportunity, and just frustrated Jordan Love into making and forcing some throws. And the guys made the plays when they're available. So just top to bottom, I think this game plan was phenomenal. Um, you know, and bend don't break defense, and it worked. It worked phenomenally this game. It was great to see.
Yeah, I thought it was a good game plan because Jordan Love is a guy that loves the big play. The Packers are league leaders when it comes to explosive plays, one of the top in the league when it comes to explosive plays. Have a receiver that's averaging 20 yards a catch, another receiver at 16 yards a catch, a tight end that's at 14 yards a catch, right? So these guys are used to down the field chunk plays, and he spreads it out to a bunch of people, and he likes to get the ball down. And when you force a team that depends on explosive plays in order to sustain offense, you make them impatient, and the quarterback is going to press because they feel like they're not playing well enough because they have to dink and dunk the ball down. And that's what the Eagles forced them to do. They forced them to throw 2 and 3 5-yard passes, and then you have to make a guy miss. And doing that the entire game gets frustrating. Trust me. We had Deshaun Jackson, Michael Vick, LaShawn McCoy. We would run the ball with LaShawn, but we like to take the top off of defense. And you get frustrated playing against teams that won't allow you to do it. And you feel like you're losing the game when you're really not. It's like, dude, we're not doing anything on offense today. LaShawn got 100 yards. The quarterback completing, 90% of his passes, but they going for 3-4 yards. You get frustrated. And that's what happened to Jordan Love. And that's the type of defense that Vic Fangio played this game, along with the defensive front, dominating up front.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, this group, man, this defensive line group, and I know there's some injuries there, but man, they're playing lights out, man. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but I just love what I saw. I mean, did you see that first play when I think it was a zone, it was a first run play, it was a zone to
Knicks when Nolan Smith shed the block and got down off of it. Yeah, I
yeah,
saw it.
and he smoked that right tackle. I forget his name
Oh
again.
yeah. No, the
Uh
left guard smoked the left guard.
yeah. Was it
Yeah,
Glover?
knocked him out of the
Tom
game.
knocked him out the game.
Yeah,
Like
knocked him out of the
that's
game.
that's
Yeah,
that's beautiful right
they
there.
pulled the left guard. Nolan Smith had
Oh, it was a
contained,
guard. It was a guard.
knocked him right in the next week, right in that shoulder, out for the game.
Yeah.
Physical all day. They knocked 3 people out of the game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's that's
physical all
that's
day.
what that's playoff football, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a question for you. Jay, did the loss of Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs and Jaden Reed impact the Packers offense, or were the Eagles just flat out dominant?
It definitely affected it. The game would be, and I can't say that I'm not taking anything away from the Eagles' defense and how physical they played, because it's just that they didn't just lose them. Christian Watson didn't come into the game, but Romeo Dobbs and Jaden Reed showed up to the game. They got knocked out of the game, and that's something that the Eagles did. So you can't take anything away from that, right? So you can't take anything away from what the Eagles did. That was a clean shot by Blankenship. There was a physical play down on the goal line that caused a concussion for Romeo Dobbs. All of those things, guys were in position. So the Eagles did that. Did it affect the game? Yeah, I'll give you an example. Their backup, Heath, is in at receiver on the goal line after Quintin gave up that long pass interference that put them down at like the 8-yard line. They have an out route against, I want to say it could have been a cover zero. I can't remember what it was, but he was inside leverage. Q was. They had out route. So it must have been cover zero. And the receiver slips.
Yeah.
And the ball is like low. Ball's on the money for the red zone. You want to miss like low and down. But if that's Romeo Dobbs or Jaden Reed, that's a touchdown.
Yeah.
So does that affect the game plan? Yeah, that affects the team. Him being out of the game, them being out of the game. But the Eagles caused that. So what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Another play that same thing, opposite. Oh, same side of the field. That's just going in a different direction. Heath again, 4th
Back
down
corner.
on the boundary.
Yeah.
If that's any other receiver on the team that's not a young dude, that's not in that situation, that's not used to being in that situation, he slows his momentum down on the sideline and easily catches that pass. But that's what happens when you knock guys out of the game. The Eagles did that. Now, Christian Watson playing would have been a lot different because now you have somebody that can get up on the safeties.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But can you get up on the safeties when Mel Williams is winning this one-on-one, when JalenCarter is winning this one-on-one, Nolan Smith's winning this one-on-one? So you don't know. So you can't take anything away from what the defense did. They knocked guys out of the game, and they benefited from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. This one's for you, Q. How will the loss of Nakobe Dean impact the defense going forward? Woo.
Yeah, that's a
That's a
big,
huge
big,
loss.
big hit right there. Nakobe is playing lights out. The quarterback in the defense, smart, intelligent player, plays across the line of scrimmage, downhill, and yeah, it's going to be a huge impact. It's going to be interesting to see if they're going to go if Fangio decides to go, kind of a committee type of situation because you know n- now I don't want to I have to be very careful because he's a young player. He came into the game, probably wasn't expecting to play Oren Burks, but he there's a little bit of a step down there. He doesn't seem as fast and physical and as able to diagnose things as quickly as Nakobe Dean is able to. So I think that's going to be a huge problem. Added to that, whichever team we play, it could be the Vikings, it could be the Rams, they are definitely going to attack our linebackers. They're definitely
Oh
going to
my
attack
gosh.
Burks. So
Oh my gosh. Talking about two teams that can do it, especially the Rams.
yes, yes,
The Rams are a nightmare for middle defenders with all of the stretches, with all of the play
roots,
action and
play
tight
action.
splits and motion. It's a nightmare. You gotta be able to discern a lot.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit worried about that, and so it's going to be a huge impact losing him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
we'll
tough.
know the winner that the who we're gonna play, in a few hours or so. But dang, that is a big impact. Do you want to speak more on that before I chime in at that part?
No, no, that's good. You can hit
Yeah.
it.
So here's my thing. There was definitely a big drop off when he went out of the game. I saw Orion Burks take the wrong angle on so many tackles that were routine. The one that Jaden Reed had an explosive play where he caught the ball and ran all the way around, circled the defense all the way to the left, and picked up a 30-yard gain. That was Orion Burks right there. That was all him. He had the tackle. Blankenship is outside of him. You tackle outside. Like why? Like why not just go straight and cut the guy off? Josh Jacobs' big run. All those things. That's Oren Burks' missed tackles to start off. So you got to think of it. Okay, it kind of hurts you because we let a veteran linebacker go in Devin White earlier in the year, and if he was a solid teammate, you in there for this moment. You know what I mean? But we
Yeah,
don't know the gist of that relationship, but it definitely didn't seem like it was platonic, right? So, but if he is a solid teammate and is encouraging the young guys, you get your moment anyway.
yeah,
Now both parties are hurt in this matter. You get what I mean?
yeah.
Now we have a young guy that we have to depend on for critical snaps, and I'm sure we'll figure it out. And then who's going to quarterback the defense now? Does Zach Baum move over?
Yeah,
How does it work? We don't know. Who's going to be the person that has the headset? I don't know.
yeah. That's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting.
so it's a bunch of things that can go up or down right there. Yeah, but
I
I definitely noticed
To
that
your
Josh
point, to your point,
got going when Kobe Dean left the game, especially in that second half.
yeah. We got to keep Bond where he's at. He does way too much stuff. He
Yeah,
he does way he's too unique of a player um to move him to Mike. So I'd say if it's me, I'm keeping him where he's at, and then either committee or, or make sure Burks extra film study this week.
yeah, yeah.
Like stay in the film room this week.
Yeah, this is one of those. This is one of those. What was that safety we had? J.R. Reed. What was that? What was it? What was the safety we had?
J.R. Reed,
This is the
J.R.
moment
Reed,
you
or
need a J.R. Reed right here. When everybody get hurt, J.R. Reed
yeah.
at the house chilling. J.R. We need you for a game. That's what we need right now. That's a throwback. But J.R. Reed used to be at the crib,
Yeah,
come in
man.
and ball.
Oh man, I forgot about JR, man. That was my guy.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right.
Q.
Next question. All right, so Nolan Smith, man, he balled out. He had 2 sacks. Kind of evaluate what you saw from him and the Eagles pass rush. Can Fangio survive with just a three-man edge rotation throughout this postseason? What do you think?
They're gonna have to. They don't have many, horses in the stall, especially that Huff is still dealing with, fingers and Jalen Hunt come in and do his thing. But yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. And if he continues to play like this, he's holding up in the run. That was our biggest concern. He's holding up in the run. Had a nice shed of the left tackle. First few series made plays that way. beat a guy straight inside, but he set it up beforehand with outside rushes, beat him straight out, got a sack. And then when Milton Williams and JalenCarter win so fast, that's what happened on the second sack. Milton Williams beat the right guard or the left guard so fast, and he just ran right into Jordan Love, just ran right into the lap of Nolan Smith. But it was because of our interior pressure. So do I think that they continue to play like that? Yes. I think that we talked about this before. Milton Williams is a great pass rusher for a defensive tackle. He's a really good pass rusher, like really good, above average. And then you have JalenCarter, which is all pro in there. It helps us out. And you're going to get some of those garbage sacks like Nolan Smith got on his second sack because of those guys. So do I think he's going to continue to play well? It looks like he's coming into his own and becoming a player. He's actually been more productive these last few games than Josh Sweat. So I think he'll be fine. Do I think that we're going to be able to deal with Detroit and Minnesota and teams like that? Like I don't know. It all depends on what type of game it is. If our defense is continue to get 3 and outs, 4 and outs, and playing half the game, because that's what happened yesterday. Time possession was 30 minutes, basically in 30 minutes. Okay, they can play like that. But if it gets to one of those games where the offense isn't doing anything and then the opposing offense is sustaining drives, that's when it becomes a problem. So we haven't got there yet. We saw it one time against the Commanders, and that didn't look good. So hopefully we don't get to that situation.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important for our offense to capitalize on turnovers when the defense gives you turnovers. We got 4 turnovers, end up with 7 points from them. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that when the offense, when the defense turn the ball over, you got to convert those into points. Got to be points. Hopefully 7. But you can't have 7 points off 4 turnovers. You just can't have it. It don't work like that. Yeah.
Absolutely right. You got to get that lead, man.
Yeah.
Get that lead. Let them pass rushers go.
Let them go. And that's what happened. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, this question for you, unless you want to follow up there.
No, we're good.
Okay. Zach Bond. Has Zach Bond stated his case for Defensive Player of the Year?
Yes, sir.
Player of the Year. That's such a biased award. Defensive Player of the Year is like quarterback for the defensive ends and edge rushers.
Yeah. Are we talking about for the league or for the Eagles?
For the league.
Yeah. He's got the stats. He's got the ability. I mean, he's multiple. He's playing Mike. He's getting sacked. He's getting interceptions. He's making tackles. He's playing in. He's doing a lot. But again, like we talked about before, it's going to go to the ends, and it's always the second year. You got to do it.
Here's the thing,
2 years before they get.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Say what you're saying.
No, you're good.
No.
You got to do it 2 years in a row.
You got to do it 2 years in a row. That's what you're saying. You're saying it's the first time doing it, they don't acknowledge it. All right. So just think about this year. The league leader in sacks for this year is Trey Hendrickson. They're out of the playoffs. It's going to be hard, and their defense sucked. So it's going to be hard for anybody to say, okay, he's the defensive player of the year, right?
Yeah.
So this season, let's look at it. This season,
TJ Watt's out of it.
TJ Watt's out of it. Let's see. Yeah, so Hendrickson, TJ Watt, Danielle Hunter, like if any year that he has a shot, it's this one. Because when you look at the top of this list, a lot of these teams aren't doing the best defensively. Danielle Hunter's doing okay, TJ Watt, okay, but he had some no-shows in some critical games, some flat-out no-shows. And so if there's any year for him to have a legit shot, it would be this one because there's no clear, defined guy that's in this last group of teams, like the Ravens or the Chiefs or whatever team. There's no Aiden Hutchinson for the Lions. So when you look at that, this is an opportunity for a guy like Zach Bond to win it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So it's a legit shot this year.
All right, I'm pulling for him.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right.
Looking at the stats, man, this is crazy. So out of the top 5 sack leaders, you got Henderson, Myles Garrett, and Nick Bonito. All of them out of the playoffs.
All of them out of the
Kyle
playoffs.
Van Noy for Baltimore is the next, and then Daniel Hunter
Yeah. Yeah.
or
So,
Daniel Hunter. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You got a shot. So
Yeah.
you telling me there's a shot? Yeah, you got a shot. Is that or you go corner interceptions? What do you Kirby Joseph? And he didn't even. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
we got a shot.
You got a shot. When was the last time a linebacker won it? I don't know.
Probably Ray Lewis.
It's been a long
Patrick
time.
Willis.
It usually goes defensive end / outside linebacker or corner.
Yeah.
Kuechly won it.
Luke.
Kuechly's been retired for 10 years.
Yeah. Luke Kuechly was a beast, man.
Yeah, Luke Kuechly was a beast. But I'm saying it's been a long time. And in linebackers, what I'm saying is it's usually edge rushers and corners that win it.
Yeah. Okay. We have a shot. That's all I need. We just need to get our foot in there, though.
Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, let's go to offense, Q.
Playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Right now on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the Eagles are plus 450 to win the Super Bowl. What do you say, Birds fans? New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BIRDSPREGAME. That's code BIRDSPREGAME, all one word, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in New York. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right. Eagles offense, man. Was JalenHurts, was he indecisive or were there not a lot of open receivers? And then were you disappointed in the QB play and OC scheme?
This was the offense coordinator. I love Kellen Moore. We live in the same town, see him a lot. Listen, this was the offensive coordinator. And I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator because he's an under center guy, and you saw a lot of the naked and the boots and stuff when you had Tanner in there and you had Kenny in there. And I felt like the offense moved kind of seamlessly when they were in there. But for some reason, we get so enamored with RPO stuff. Like we threw a bubble to Saquon on the 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, whatever it was, with Devontae Smith lead blocking on Javon Bullock. Like, I'm like, he's a nickel, but he's a safety. He gonna kick his ass every time. Like, what are we doing out here? Like I was like, and I love Smitty. Smitty's tough, but just weight wise, that's not a great scheme. It's not a great scheme at all. What other plays that I'm thinking? I'm just thinking of in my brain where 3rd and 12 we run a draw to freaking Saquon. Another 3rd and 12 we run a quarterback, fake counter keep. I'm like, what's happening right now? Like, am I in the Twilight Zone? What's going on? Got conservative overnight? Like, what's happening? Multiple times the Packers made it clear what they were playing. They would disguise the safeties. They rocked and rolled the safeties, but it was some version of too high or cover three. It wasn't that complicated on the back end. Besides the times they went zero and popped out of it into a 4 or something like that, right? It wasn't that complicated on the back end of the structure. They were running like Hank in cover 4. That's not a cover 4 concept. That's a cover 3 concept.
Yeah.
It's a cover 3 concept. A traditional Hank, a guy over the ball, a curl, and a flat, that's a cover 3 concept. It's not good versus cover 4. That guy to go over the ball got to run through to take the safety out so you can get a one-on-one. Like it was so many different things like that where guys were clearly covered because of the scheme. And another thing too, at some point, you're going to have to make Carrington Valentine, number 24, the guy that Dallas Goedert beasted for a touchdown. He's set on everything from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. I'm like, can somebody run a double move on this man at some point? He's set on every route. Yeah. Every route. Like from the beginning of the game, they threw a 12-yard like comeback or stop route to AJ Brown. He slipped down. But it could have been a pick because how well he's set on that route.
Yeah.
Multiple times he did that throughout the game. I'm like, dude, when are we going to do it? Nope, it never happened. Never going to get it. Never going to get it. So Jalen, I'll give Jalen 3 throws. 3 throws. What was he? 13 for 21? 3 throws that Jalen had that could have been a better throw or somebody was open. I give him 3 of those. 3, maybe 4. But most of those incompletions and most of the scheme things that Jalen was holding the ball, that's because the Packers knew exactly what the Eagles were going to do. And it was so clear to them, and it seemed like they were better prepared. And the defense coordinator of the Packers did a great job. And Jordan Love wasted an opportunity for the Packers because their defense played extremely well and knew exactly what the Eagles were going to do. So yeah, I was hyped about that. But
isn't it just weird though? Like it seems like every week there's a different scheme, and we haven't seen Jalen in about 3 weeks. I was a little bit worried about whether or not he was going to be a little rusty or whatnot, but there's just it seems like there's no adhesiveness with the scheme. It's like every week it's like something different. It's really, really bizarre to me.
Yeah, no, he lost. Kellen Moore lost the battle this week versus defense coordinator, flat out. I don't know why, but to me, I would have attacked Keyshawn Nixon a lot more. There were times where AJ Brown, like on that Hank concept I'm telling you about, AJ Brown had a lightning up top, which is like an 8 or 9 yard stop route. Like, why deal with the rest of that stuff when you could just throw an easy hitch out there to a guy that's a backup? Because Jair is not there, right? So like I don't necessarily know. I don't understand certain things that they were doing in the past game. I didn't understand. And a lot of their concepts were all like stop routes or it wasn't a bunch of stuff where guys were on the move. It wasn't concepts where you can get open down the field and keep moving like a deep cross or divide or a Detroit, something that's on the move. It was very basic, very run up the field, run a basic route, run an arrow concept, run a 5-yard hitch, it was very, very easy stuff. And so it was easy to cover.
Yeah. As a DB, man, I love stop routes. If I see stop routes as a DB, stop routes, that's the easiest thing to cover.
What do we do a lot of on the outside? We run slants, right? We run slants. Yeah. We run stop routes. And slant concept is not the best concept. Like double slants is not the best concept against certain coverages. You know what I mean? It's not the best concept. Yeah. Or dragging a slant flat, a slant flat is not the best concept versus too high safety. So it was just certain things that we were doing that just didn't make sense. I didn't understand at times.
Maybe he's preparing
you
for some
add
interviews.
Anything to that?
He could be preparing for some interviews, man.
Were you talking about Kellen Moore? Could
Yeah.
be. He could be, but he got to wake his ass up. He wasn't
man.
ready this past game. He was not ready this past game. And thank God our defense played well. But there was times where the game was imbalanced, and the Eagles defense stepped up, and then we got 3 points or something happened like that where the team was bailing them out. JalenHurts and the offensive line was bailing them out. Like Jalen checking into the zero beater with Dallas and AJ over there. Like that was a Jalen check into that. He checked earlier in the game, similar, and it didn't work as well, but he did it again because he got caught in that second series when they kicked the field goal. He got caught on the zero, and so the next time they did it, he got him. So that was good, but overall not good enough offensive passing from Kellen Moore at all. And I don't blame JalenHurts that much after watching the tape.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. This one's for you. Going forward, did the Packers show that heavy blitzing the Eagles could be a template for success against them? What did you observe from their zero blitz schemes?
I don't think their schemes were really all that complicated. I don't, and kind of just what we were just talking about, I just don't think that the team was expecting as much zero. I don't think the Eagles were expecting them to come out and run zero like that and come after them. And to be honest with you, it didn't really help them to the extent that, like, when you run a zero blitz, we're expecting pressure and we're expecting ball out fast. We're expecting some kind of turnover or some kind of good play, positive play for the defense. And that really wasn't the case across the board. So I don't think per se this is um, the right way. That I don't think that teams are going to attack us this way. I do think if we see Minnesota, I think that there were enough holes and enough doubt in Jalen and Kellen that if we have to see the Vikings, I think it's going to be an issue because as you know, Flores has unique, exotic blitzes and pressures and coverages, and he can force you into making some plays. What I do want to see is if we do see zero, hand the ball off. Sometimes that's one of the hardest things for a defense when you're playing zero. If you can get a crease, especially zero coverage, man coverage is a touchdown. So I would like to see some of that.
It's like a little trap that you run in zero that coach always had in the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
He always had like this little quick trap for cover zero. We were running every now and again. We'll hit it every now and again.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a little quick trap that you can do. You gotta secure one of the A gap blitzers, but other than that, yeah. So I agree with that.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. I do think, Flores is definitely going to be watching that tape. If we play them, he's going to see some stuff, but we'll see.
I disagree with you.
Oh, yeah?
On this one. The reason I disagree with you is because this conference, remember, it's not one team. You're talking about Aaron Glenn. You're talking about Brian Flores. Both these teams throw the house at you. And guess what the Packers do? Because they're in that conference. You start to see, even if you're not like that as a defense coordinator, you start to realize, okay, I need to take more chances, right? Because you ever notice that most conferences have a style.
Yeah.
And they don't differentiate too much. The Ravens are like the Steelers. The Steelers are like the Ravens and the Bengals. Like they're the Browns. All of them can play defense for the most part, except for the Bengals this year. But there's always some similarities. So when we first played the Packers, this wasn't a part of the game plan. But being in that conference, you start to see these things a little bit more. So we're going to have an answer for an A-gap blitz. We beat them once. Yeah. We threw the screen out to Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert made Carrington Valentine a permanent underwear washer for his entire life. Right?
My man got stiff arm 3 times on the same play.
Hey, he looked like his name was Delicious. Sweet out there. We may have to take that out. That was some soft stuff right there, boy. I was like, boy, if you don't that right there, that moment, any defense right there, anybody, any captain of the defense is going over there, do, hey man, you can't put that on film. You cannot put that on tape. Dallas, good job. You got a man bench right there. They questioning his whole motive. Everybody in the league is like, oh, that's that Sharman over there, that dude over there. That's that.
That soft serve. That soft serve.
And I thought I was like, boy, first of all, he went to go tackle him like this. I was like, that's a tight end. What you think? Boy, you better go and try to like shoot your shot at the beginning. What do you think what you thought he's gonna do? You gonna push him out of bounds? Man, you better go shoot your gun at first. I need to get to my point. All right. Let me get back to my point. My point is that since those defenses bring the pressure, and we only got the Packers one time, there was multiple times where the Packers got us. We tried to throw a halfback screen in zero.
I saw that. Yeah.
Now, S at one works. But that was like a very slow S at one. Like an S at one is like when you fake out to the flat and then you go back inside. It's a very specific style.
Let me ask you about that play. All right. So in that play, Saquon was to his right. Jalen checked him to his left. You see the DB go with him.
Yeah.
Is that a situation where you can check out of that? Because you know it's man. If it's man, zero blitz in that situation, I don't think that's the right call, right? Or am I wrong?
Well, I would have checked out of it. Now, listen, like there is a zero check for a halfback screen, but it wasn't the same type of screen we do. We have a guy, which is like the left tackle or tight end or someone else, that when we see him go in motion and he comes to line of scrimmage, because he on the line of scrimmage, we go and pick him. And then he runs up behind the line and catches the ball and goes for a touchdown. So, but that wasn't that play. Based on that play and how slow developing it was, he should have checked out of that because it was clearly zero.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
I mean? So he should have checked out of that play. And that wasn't S at one. That wasn't the same play I'm talking about. But there's a play that you can run against zero. It's called S at one. But that wasn't the same play. So he should have checked out of that. Another one, Jahan Dotson had a flat route. They had like perfect call for zero. Perfect call for zero. You had all Omaha. Omaha everywhere. You throw 5-yard outs on the outside, then you have 2 stick routes on the inside. I'm not taking a chance on the outside with those dudes where they were sitting, but I threw the inside one every time. Jalen didn't hit that. That was one they can work on. And the receivers didn't run it right. They were running like speed outs, which they were getting closer to the outside guys. So they need a whole bunch of work in it. So I think that teams will do more of this because they were discombobulated when they got it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. This one's for you. Or was I talking? Let me ask you yours. You come back to mine because I was talking too much.
Where are we at?
I'm gonna skip my question. I'm gonna go to your question.
Okay.
You talk a lot about how body language of players coming out of the huddle and on receiver releases. Are you noticing anything about AJ Brown in that regard?
I do feel he's a little frustrated. Obviously, everyone's talking about the book on the sidelines, which I don't know what that was about. And he does seem maybe he's battling some injuries, or I heard there was a knee thing going on, a knee issue. And I'm sure he's a little frustrated he's not getting the ball. I will say I say all that to say this. What I did like about what AJ did is he blocked well, right? There were opportunities, run game, screen game where he was blocking well. And that's something to me that is positive, and it's showing that he's trying to win the game. Now, obviously, all receivers, you guys are big divas. You guys want the ball every single play. You guys are always open, blah, blah, blah. So that part of it, maybe this past game, he wasn't quite featured. Maybe next game he'll get some more feature time and get the ball thrown his way more. That's the beauty about the playoffs, the beauty about being a part of a team. So I do like his attitude when it comes to doing the dirty work. I do want my receivers wanting the ball a little bit more, just a little bit more oomph around the team. We got 2 or 3 more games, man. Let's fight these last few games and get it done. That's what I would say.
No, I agree with that. Here's the thing that I would say about coming off the ball and things of that nature. There's a clear difference with when it's a pass and a run with the Eagles team, with all the receivers.
Yes.
They have to learn how to give you a realistic 5-yard burst. Give me, and this was as a receiver, like if I was coaching receivers, because it's too unrealistic of saying, hey, come off the ball 100 miles per hour. You can't all the time because you got responsibilities in run game. You can't. But if you can think of giving me an initial burst off the line of scrimmage, that does a lot. That gets the DB in his pedal, right? It changes up the look for the linebackers. They start to fan out a little bit more, right? So as soon as they feel energy off, they start to look. And when they start to look, they diagnose. So you have to give at least a 5-7 yard burst off the line of scrimmage, no matter what you're doing. So yeah, there's a total different energy going up to the line of scrimmage and or when a ball is snapped from when it's running past. And another thing too is that there are multiple times where a little bit more effort can break a run or can solidify a run. Saquon had one on the left side that could have broke a lot better. AJ got enough of Xavier McKinney to spring him. But if he would have put his whole body on him, he would have blocked 3 people.
Okay.
He got a little glancing blow, which was able for him to circle the defense, right? But if he goes in and puts his body on him, now he blocks the linebacker and the defensive end that's chasing as well. And now that's a bigger play.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's about the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's that championship level. That's what we need.
Yeah, the championship level. Yeah, championship level. All right, let's go back up to the one before that.
Okay, so what did you make of the Eagles' 3rd down play calls? Were they conservative? Somewhat conservative?
I've never seen it. We talked about this.
Yeah.
I've never seen us be that conservative, especially when that it was zone coverage. It was zone coverage. You got to depend on your guys. And what let me know yesterday is that if we can't win on slants and stop routes outside, we in trouble. That's what that let me know yesterday. If we can't win, because you think about the lion's share of the balls that A.J. Brown catch, it's usually a slant or a stop.
Yeah. Or a fade. Yeah. That's actually a good point because I don't see a whole lot of dig routes. I don't see him catching a whole lot of post routes. I don't see. That's not good.
That's why the Packers were sitting. It's like, okay, these are the routes they run. I'm sitting on them. You got to do something. Give me a circus route. Give me a 5. The same one that Jahan Dotson, ran where he ran down inside, then came out toward the sideline. Basically, it's a corner route concept, but it's like you drive down inside, go up, and then you circle back out. Right? Give me different forms of these things, right? But when we're looking at this, if we're not catching slants and stop routes outside, we're in trouble. So we got to do something more diverse. So we need better play calling for those down and distances for sure. Or change or bring more people to the party. Bring more people to the party. What do I mean by that? Dallas is a mismatch. Dallas is a mismatch. Saquon's a mismatch. Bring more people to the party. If you feel like their corners are sitting on everything outside, play the inside game. That's what Detroit's good at. Detroit has a way of avoiding your best players. We have Quintin, we have Slay out there. They don't even have to play toward those guys. Detroit Detroit can make you play this game with safeties and linebackers in the pass game and get all the way down the field. Make them cover.
That's true.
And we can do that too, but we are not that creative. They can play a game with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta in the middle of the field and slice you up. We got that opportunity because you can put AJ or Devontae in the slot, and you still got Saquon, and you still got Dallas Goedert, and you could do the same things, but we're not that creative.
That's concerning.
Because playing outside, you can stop outside the numbers. You can play cover 2 out there. You can stop the outside of numbers, but it's very, very hard to stop over the middle of the field. Very, very hard.
Very true.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Now see, I was all excited. Now I'm worried, man.
No, I'm just
worried.
No, don't worry. I'm just saying that there's multiple ways to slice it. There's multiple ways to slice this. We just are accustomed to playing football the way we play. Run the ball, Jalen scramble for a little bit, throw your one-on-ones outside, and it's easy football. We're able to do that. Now we're getting to the point where teams are getting better, and you're gonna at one of these games, you're gonna have to make an adjustment. And in one of these games, you're going to have to let it go. So we don't know when that game will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm asking you this question. Listen, we haven't seen a signature A.J. Brown deep sideline catch or touchdown in quite a while. What have you observed about the routes he's been asked to run? Do you suspect his knee injury is correlated? And also, what about him reading a book on the sideline?
Yeah, the book thing is crazy, man. I don't even I will say this, having lived through the T.O. era and all that craziness.
Oh man.
It wasn't that surprising to me. So yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I think he's a little frustrated. I don't know why we haven't thrown him the ball outside. I do believe that he's probably battling something, as I mentioned earlier. He's probably battling a little. Maybe he's not 100% with that knee, but even AJ at 80%, still good enough to go outside. I mean, the fake 31. I mean, he's just a step off right there, right? And he still can run past anyone in this league. So, I still have a lot of confidence in him. He's having a little slump. We'll get it right. Yeah, I'm trying to stay positive with that. So I do think he's battling something, but I think he'll be right. He'll be back next week. He's gonna have to.
He slipped a few times in that game. Do I think that he's battling something? He could be. I thought that the concepts are not helping him out. And again, if there's like a guy that just says, I'm just gonna sit on it, you got to be willing to do double moves on him and give him an opportunity. And that's the thing that you don't want to leave another game with. I don't think that we gave him enough opportunity. So I would be frustrated as A.J. Brown. I don't understand if there shouldn't be a game that's ever played in the Eagles uniform with A.J. Brown in your team where he doesn't have a minimum of 7-8 targets. It just shouldn't. 3 targets is not enough, not when a guy can affect the game that much. I don't care what you tell me. That guy needs 7 to 10 targets. You got to do that. You got to. Just like Saquon needs 20 carries or more, he needs that amount of targets in order for us to be successful and optimize our chances of winning. So I don't care what happened with A.J. Brown, if his knee hurting, who's covering him, if they sitting on it, throw that man a one-on-one situation down the field, give him a chance to catch it, throw him a tunnel screen, give him a jet sweep. Let that man touch the ball because good stuff happens when he touches the ball. So figure that out, and your offense improves drastically within a week. And now instead of 22 points, you got 30-something points because the guys that you need to touch the ball are touching the ball. And I always put Smitty as number 2. AJ don't work out, Smitty's number 2 because Smitty going to win his matchup, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we do those things, I think we'll be just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. There it is.
That's where I am with that. We don't know who we're going to play, Q. it's either the Vikings or the Rams. The Rams are healthy now. The Rams, we ran the ball down their throat the last time we played, but there was a lot of challenging out there. You got Puka Nacua, that's a challenge. You got Cooper Kupp, that's a challenge. You got Kyron Williams, that's back. Their defense, their young, defensive player of the year, which is looking like rookie player, defense player of the year, Jared Verse. Young, they got a bunch of players on the back end. So the Rams are going to be a tough out. The Vikings are a tough out. Justin Jefferson, Addison, Naylor, Hawkinson, like they got a team over there, and their defense is better than their offense. Their defense is lights out. Now they gave up some points late in that game to the Lions, but that's interdivision. Brian Flores got those teams playing, and they stopped the run. In comparison to the Rams, the Vikings, they do a good job of attacking the run game. And you got Gilmore out there. You got some veterans. Like you got some guys that can present some problems for Byron Murphy. You got some guys that out there can play. So that's not going to be an easy game at all. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it's going to be the Vikings. But we will see tonight. What do you think about that? Who do you want?
I honestly, I would rather see the Rams than the Vikings. I just worry about the Vikings offense. They're so explosive on offense, and I think that our secondary matches up well. But I just think we match up better against the Rams for what they try to do. Run game. We talked about the boot game. Obviously down the linebacker with Nakobe Dean being out, so there's something that we got to look at there. But I would just much rather not see Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and Hawkins running routes against us. So I'm pulling for the Rams. We'll see.
We'll see. We will see. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Q&A show. We appreciate you guys. Email your questions to insidethebirds@gmail.com to Adam and Jeff. Everyone that's responsible, we appreciate you guys. And thank you. Go Birds. Let's take this thing to the Super Bowl. Q, you got the last word.
Yes, sir. As always, man, I appreciate it. Great show. And we'll see everybody next week. Let's get it.
Peace.